This summer solstice and the full moon is a necessary time to rebalance your body, mind, and spirit. Because the full moon is happening right after the summer solstice, there's significant power in tapping into both inner and outer light. Many of us have been experiencing a lot of self-expansion and discoveries in the first two phases of the moon this month, and also faced many speed bumps along the way. So this next 2 weeks is an important self-reflective time to notice the light from outside and inside, especially in the areas of personal strengths and challenges. And with the added instability from the solar activities, it's even more important for you to take the next several weeks to rebalance your nervous system and bring conscious awareness toward self-compassion. I will go into some key points for the rest of the month in this video, so let's get started. My name is Masami Covey. I'm a health intuitive, functional nutritional therapist, and a moon enthusiast. I lead women in rediscovering the wisdom of living with the lunar cycles during and beyond menopause. If you're interested in lunar cycles, learning about moon wisdom and how the moon impacts various organs, systems, hormones, and even fascia, please subscribe to this channel and join my monthly moon wisdom class by checking the link below. One of the few constants in life is the rising and the setting of the sun. But lately, it's been a fluctuating and very dynamic body in the sky. We're at the peak of the sun's 11-year cycle of activity, and it's definitely influencing our day-to-day lives much more than we realize. And this is most certainly impacting our physical and mental well-being. The sun is throwing temper tantrums like solar flares and solar storms at unpredictable intervals. In fact, the most recent sun activity recorded from NOAA's Space Weather Prediction Center is indicating that the X flares, which is the strongest flares, may be on the way again, and we may experience high-speed solar winds here on Earth this month. As I said in my monthly Moon Wisdom class early this month, this has been an energetically scattered month, full of speed bumps and mini challenges. Like the inflatable tube man constantly flapping around, many people I have spoken to and worked with this month have been faced with the real challenge staying compassionate toward themselves, and most importantly, not abandoning themselves and their true needs. So if you have been self-critical when you make mistakes or feel inadequate, or simply too exhausted to care, which I'm seeing a lot of exhaustions, please take a moment to bring kindness back to yourself. And some of the ways that you can bring this deep, compassionate kindness back to yourself is to do things like, I love doing holding the cheeks. Hold your own face, hold your own cheeks. You can even cover your face, whatever works, but it's just holding your face and your cheeks, especially like holding from the jawline, can be a very good expression and healing expression towards yourself that's wrapped in kindness. Other things, maybe after the holding your cheeks, bring your hands to the heart center and hold that heart center, doing some slow breaths, maybe 5 to 10 slow breaths, and just focus only on your breaths. That can be a great way to bring the kindness back to yourself. And like Sufis say, you can always love more. As I talked about in my Moon Wisdom class, this act of touch and kindness increases the production of GABA, which, by the way, depletes as we age, especially for most postmenopausal women. So use your hands, use your touch to bring the kindness that will turn into the production of GABA. As I said, because the full moon is happening right after the summer solstice, there is significant power in tapping into both inner and outer light. It's a self-reflective time for noticing the light from outside and inside, especially in the areas of personal strengths and challenges, and making sure that you are aware of your own limitations. Both emitting light and reflected light are going to challenge you to face your internal limitations, like your metabolic energy, like blood sugar dysregulations, and other health concerns like thyroid and adrenals, and hormone imbalances, perhaps even challenges your knowledge, finances, relationships, and also your external limitations, which are geopolitical, geographical, cultural, and even environmental and climate related. With these limitations in mind, without judgments, revisit your highest aspirations and goals, check the details, and bring that lofty vision down to earth. Because often we are overly optimistic and not realistic. I'm often reminded of my limitations, especially watching the pre-qualifying Olympic events. I do see that I am too short for certain sports, I would say most sports, and also my age is playing into this equation as well. And let's face it, the fact is that I never trained for any of these sports. Those are true limitations. That's going to be very hard for me to overcome at this point. But this doesn't mean that I can't be inspired by these absolutely amazing athletes. And this can also motivate me. And actually, these are motivating me to work out and do more weightlifting, taking collagen consistently, and watching my protein intake and digestion, all of which are a must for postmenopausal women. And it's not just for postmenopausal women. We really want to be inspired by these amazing Olympians to take care of ourselves and our physiology, mental health as well. This solstice and the full moon have the ability to shine the light internally and externally on your personal growth and accomplishments also, especially around how much you have grown as a person and how much you have learned through decades of both challenges and successes. I was recently faced with a challenge around requesting a refund for something that I hastily paid for and later regretted and decided to call and cancel. After I paid for the particular service, my intuition started to flash warning signs everywhere. So I called to cancel and requested a refund for my deposit. First, they said that is not non-refundable and they couldn't do anything about it. But I said if I could speak to the manager, and they allowed me to speak to their manager. So when I spoke with her, I shared the state of my stress and how my heart was no longer willing to move forward. And that's where my limitation and blockages stemmed from. She softened up after listening to me and decided to give me a full refund. I could feel that her compassion in her heart opened up, most likely because I expressed my self-compassion and did not abandon myself and my needs. As I said in my monthly Moon Wisdom class, unlocking the power of self-compassion, how not to abandon yourself, is the theme of this moon cycle. So that is pretty much this entire month of June. So more often than not, when you're honest about your limitations and blockages, the flow that you were looking for may suddenly appear where it seems impossible at first. I'm also wondering what and how you are experiencing this theme, this moon cycle. So please feel free to leave comments below so we can grow this compassionate heart together. Lastly, for the full moon, get to know your natural rhythm. I urge you to pay attention to your own cycles and rhythms. Ask yourself maybe the following questions. Do I overcommit? Do I push myself more than what I can or want to do because I feel guilty or pressured for time? Do I listen to my own needs and express them? When you are out of balance with your innate rhythm, this full moon is going to fully reflect that back to you, especially because this full moon is energetically reflecting much more light than usual due to summer solstice. I think about the story of Icarus and his wings coated with wax. He flew too close to the sun and the wax melted, and he found himself plummeting back to the earth at full speed. With so much emphasis on productivity, and now with 24/7 AI operations pushing our limits even further, so many of us are under so much pressure to perform and produce. Are we pushing ourselves to fly too close to the sun like Icarus? If so, this solstice and the reflective power of the moon could melt the wax on your wings, and you may find yourself pulled back to earth. This is why it's a necessary time to let the light illuminate through the solstice and the sun power and reflect from the moon's power on how you are following or not following your natural and innate rhythm. So you can work within a range that is sustainable and supportive to you. And by the way, this concept of getting to know your natural rhythm carries forward into the next moon cycle in July. So I will go through more tools during the next month's moon wisdom class. But for now, pay attention to the health of your jaw. Yes, your jaw. You heard it right. So take a look at and feel into your jaw, maybe opening your mouth or even holding your jaw or touching that area, and see if you could notice how tight your jaw is or how much are you clenching, how much tension are you holding in your jaw. Just take a note of it and see where you're at today, because this is going to be addressed and I will be giving you some tools to relax that and how important the jaw is in the next month and next moon cycle. So I look forward to sharing more about how your jaw impacts overall health and your well-being in next month's moon wisdom class. Okay, as we wrap up the first half of 2024, let's take this opportunity, both the summer solstice and the full moon, to shine your light from outside and inside to your areas of strength as well as your limitations, and continue to expand your capacity to express and hold compassion, and returning to your own rhythm so you don't abandon yourself. Thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you leaving comments and giving me a thumbs up. I look forward to reading them and staying in touch with you. Namaste.